is day one here in South Dakota. As you can see, the sun is already making its way up, and I'm just going to sneak out here and do a little scouting. We got in about 2 hours ago or so, but the plan was to go out, do a little scouting, and hopefully spot something that we can kind of go after and kind of get a little inventory of what's out here. This is absolutely insane. First of all, we're in South Dakota and the wind is not blowing. Whatever wind there is, it's coming from the west. And that's kind of why I picked this spot here tonight. The deer that we saw this morning, I think he's bedded right across over here. And the wind should be right in my face. So if he does decide to come out this direction, he shouldn't be able to smell us. But I think the plan is, if it doesn't happen tonight, tomorrow, I'm going to try to cut him off as he's making his way back to bed. I think this is kind of his home back here. But how cool is it when you can hop in his stand, get set up, and immediately see a buck and a doe? That says you're in a good spot right there. So far we've just been glassing a lot. Obviously I haven't seen all the deer out here, but I've seen some good ones. And those are the ones we're going to kind of target right now. I'm going to keep glassing. Hopefully I can bring you some more footage. These deer finally moved off just a little bit. I can give a little interview here. It's been an amazing night, to say the least. had some time to sit back and think about things a little bit. And essentially everything came in quartering to at 40 yards. It went in the woods here. And all those deer come through that shooting lane that I had. And I've been ranging them about 30 yards. That's what I ranged them at. And when he came in, he was quartering away. And I shot just to the right, just a little too much. Maybe an inch or two. And as you can see, when he took off, where the exit hole is, I hit him on the left side. Entry is on the left, exit's on the right. And it's right behind his armpit. I would have liked it to have been a little bit further forward, but right now I got those two other big bucks going after each other. They've been doing quite a bit of fighting. He's kind of running them off. But my guess is we're going to have to give him a few more hours. It's always tough letting him sit, but at least I saw what he did. He bedded down a couple times, so that's a good sign. Alright, we're back out here next morning. Pick up the blood trail again. He bedded down multiple times last night, probably 15 different times. We found 15 different beds. And we had decent blood, but it was just extremely difficult to track, and we just weren't 100% sure, so we decided to back out and pick it up here this morning. We'll get back on the blood, and hopefully he didn't go much further. Is it him? Last blood, right here. Supposedly he's under that tree. Man, I tell you what, this hunt had so many twists and turns. You know, it started out, we came out here and we knew we had to do some scouting to see what deer were out here and what deer we wanted to go after. And the first morning, got up a little late. We got in at 4, and I got out here about 6, and the sun was already up and I didn't see any shooters. And then we scouted that night, saw a few deer, and then came out the next morning, and I saw this guy and 2 other 8-pointers. And throughout the day, Scott and I helped his grandma put new flooring in her bedroom, and we finally finished up, and Scott told me to go out and hunt. And I didn't know which stand to go to. I didn't know if I should glass. I didn't know if I should go to a stand, but I ended up going back to the stand that I shot an 8-pointer a couple years ago. And the reason why I went there is just because of the wind. It was a west wind, and I knew some of these deer were over in this bedding area, and I knew it'd still be a good wind, and if I didn't see anything, I wouldn't booger anything up, but yet I could still scout and see. And it wasn't too long before I ended up seeing a couple deer, and then everything just kind of lit up. There were deer everywhere, and I had one come out 40 yards from me, and it was just quartering 2, and I just couldn't get a shot at him. He actually ended up bedding down behind me about 25 yards. And this guy and another 8-pointer come through, end up coming through a little opening. I range a bunch of deer coming through that opening, and I knew it was 30 yards. So when he come through, I found a little opening and let an arrow fly. The exit hole obviously looks really good if it was a broadside shot, but I knew it was quartering away, and I knew I hit him a little far back. So last night we gave him a good 5 hours. We looked, and it was very, very difficult to find blood throughout the entire tracking job, and it was just getting too difficult to find that next drop. So Scott and I decided to back out and come back this morning. You know, like I said, hindsight's 20/20. You know, from where we stopped, he probably went another, I don't know, 75, 100 yards, somewhere in there. You know, and even though he's kind of tore up here a little bit from the coyotes and the other critters, it's always nice when you're able to recover them. It was a chore getting them out of there, but it's well worth it. I thank Scott, his family again, everyone. Kind of want to dedicate this this hunt. I told myself last night in the stand,
I was going to dedicate this hunt to my Uncle Greg and Colton Bozer. Colton lost his dad, Greg's best friend, in a tragic accident. I want to dedicate this one to you guys. Pretty cool.